Howdy, with this video I want to go over the next two assignments. The metaphor, that's going to be doing the e-portfolio hopefully on Friday, and the self-regulated learner, which we should be starting writing on this coming weekend. Right now people are working on journals 1 through 3 that are due on Monday. I'm doing this video on Sunday, January 26th. So right now you're probably getting those journal entries work going there. Again, 150 words on each one. You can see they're designed to help you with the first essay, the self-regulated learner essay that's coming up. But I want to go over the metaphor and the self-regulated learner essay. These assignments are located on the content page for the course. Wasn't quite there, was I? Scroll down to, well, not on table of contents either. But you can go over here to essay assignments, or you can go to table of contents and scroll down. There you'll see the metaphor assignment, and then you'll see the self-regulated learner essay assignment there. Just click on those to open them. I've already opened them because they're easier to do it once I open them. I'll go to the metaphor first. For this assignment, you're going to draw a picture for me and show me what success in this class will look like. You can also kind of just make it a little more general about success in college in general. But you're going to write a sentence. Say my success in this class will look like a marching band, a football play, a racing car, whatever it's going to look like. And then you're going to develop that simile or metaphor by labeling it and showing us where you get your support. What are your current good practices that are serving you well? What are some obstacles that might be in the way? Whatever, whatever your success kind of looks like. And one, you want to draw the image, but two, you want to make sure you label it so that anybody looking at it knows what that's going to look like. See if I can get this going. I'm going to show you a couple of examples here. Hopefully you can see that through the video here. But here, learning success looks like musical notes. And the student has labeled all the notes and shows us what success is going to look like. Oops. Here, the success is going to look like a dapple-colored tree. She labels everything, shows us what her success looks like. I believe this student actually already had her markers with her when she came to class. She just liked to draw a lot. The only complaint here might be that she didn't label what the sun is there. A pretty good job overall. Sometimes you feel like a little fish when you first start college. By the time you're ready to graduate, you're a big fish there, being successful, right? Same thing at the beginning of the course. You might feel like a little fish trying to figure it all out. By the time you turn in that last essay, you're feeling good. Here it's like blowing a bubble or popping a big bubble. You don't have to be a great artist here. Stick figures are absolutely fine. Some people get a little fancy. Some people, I think, they put their paper on their computer screen and trace it. Be careful, don't ruin your computer screen or anything. But kind of a nice drawing there. But the labeling is what the important part is. What's all this mean? What do we all, what's the fish represent? The boat and all that good stuff. Might be like a candle. Might be starting as a baby duck with has an egg and then growing into a large duck. This person kind of drew a dolphin leaping for the first time and then labeled everything down here. Either way is fine as long as it's clear what the image is and what everything represents. It's kind of up to you. Sometimes some people are pretty good artists. Pretty nice looking car there. And again, labeling it all, showing us what each part represents in terms of his success in the course. It's like having a baby. Probably a pretty good metaphor there, right? Hopefully, your success is growing and growing and growing, and finally you get out of the course or have the baby. And kind of clever there. It doesn't have to be super serious either. This one could use maybe a little more labeling, but it's kind of up to you. But hopefully those examples kind of give you a sense of what you can do. It's usually a little easier to represent it, use something that's actually happening in your own life or happened in your own life. If you were a football player in high school or something, might be, success might look like the perfect football player, kicking that winning field goal or something like that. So that's the first assignment. And again, let's see if I can get back to the schedule there. Hold Hopefully we're going to have that in the e-portfolio on Friday. My plan is to come to class on Thursday whenever Ms. McNeese will let me, and kind of get that e-portfolio going and show you how to put things into it. That's hard to do just straight online like this, so it's kind of nice we have that Thursday night class where I might be able to steal a couple of minutes and help you do that without confusing everybody. The other assignment I want to talk about is a self-regulated learner essay. I need a shorter title for that. But you can kind of see it's coming straight off that journal number 3, these ideas. Again, I already have that open. It's up there on the content page. For this one, you're going to write a 700-word, 5-paragraph essay that analyzes any 3 of the profile points of a self-regulated learner as they apply to you. And of course, if you've done journal number 3, you've already seen these. If you haven't done journal number 3, you're about to see these. They're coming straight out of that journal entry. But you're going to talk about how they apply to you. You're not telling the reader how they can be a better self-regulated learner. You're telling us why you're a good student or some of the things you might need to work on to be a better student, but only as they apply to you. It's kind of good to mix it up a little bit, maybe talk about 2 things you're good at, maybe 1 you can work on. None of us are perfect at all of those, right? But you're going to talk about your experience. And the way it's going to work is the first 4 paragraphs should be at least 150 words, so the concluding paragraph should be at least 100. And the first paragraph, you're going to introduce yourself as a student. I was not a particularly good student in high school. I did well enough to keep my car and my mother off my back, and that's pretty much my only goals in high school. Didn't serve me well when I went to college the first time. But your first paragraph, you want to introduce yourself as a student. I want you to quote from one of the readings from the journal entries. I need to rephrase that there, but we're going to put that on works citus page. We'll show you how to do that in a later video. And again, that first paragraph is a good place to do that, kind of define what self-regulated learning is, kind of get the reader involved in what's going on. Then you're going to end with your thesis, where you're going to have 1 sentence that tells us what the essay is going to be about. It's going to be something along the lines of, to be successful in college, I will have to do plan and organize work, continually evaluate my progress, but I also need to learn to utilize age to accommodate areas of weakness. And again, whatever 3 points you want to talk about, you don't have to use those 3, obviously, but just going to kind of give that 1 sentence thesis that tells us what the essay is going to be about. Probably going to be the last sentence in your first paragraph. Right, so you're going to introduce yourself, introduce the concept of self-regulated learning, and give your thesis. Then after that, you're going to spend a paragraph on each one of the 3 thesis points, each one of your 3 ideas. That'll be a paragraph of each one where you're going to go in and give good description and good details, show us why you're good at it or why you're not so good at it and what you can do to be a little bit better at it. And we'll go over a sample essay maybe in a later video. Should have all these fun punctuation. There's a handout there on the content page that goes over that. Should be using good figurative language. No you, or it. Again, you're not telling the reader how they can be a better student. You're talking about why you're a good student or how you might improve a little bit in one area. But you can kind of go through those profile points. If you kind of scanned them when you were doing journal entry number 3, want to go kind of read through them. Again, you're going to pick any 3 of these. Sometimes students have a hard time being intrinsically motivated to learn in a class they don't really have a lot of interest in. Believe it or not, sometimes students don't like writing essays and have to kind of find a way to get them to motivate themselves to complete assignments. Can you do that? Or just something you really need to work on and figure out a way to help that a little bit? Do you adjust strategies as needed to achieve your learning goals? I'm pretty bad about doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results and getting frustrated. Sometimes you got to adjust strategies, right? Same thing here. Do you attribute failure to use of ineffective strategies? That's one thing I would probably write about something I'm not so good at. Are you good at asking questions? Are you good at controlling your learning environments? But you're gonna pick any 3 of these because eventually within your essay you're gonna spend a paragraph on each one. So make sure you pick 3 things that you can write about. Again, we'll look at a sample essay here in the next video. Let's kind of start thinking about that. The only thing due on Friday is that metaphor, plus we want to get that e-portfolio going. We're going to use the D2L e-portfolio. But come next Monday, those first 3 paragraphs are going to come up pretty quick. So we won't be thinking about that self-regulated learner essay what 3 points you might talk about. The full draft is going to be due to Miss McNeese on Thursday, February 6th. And it's a requirement that she reviews the draft, so make sure you're keeping up with when things are due and what you need to be doing. I think that's about it. Just wanted to go over those two assignments. Hopefully the metaphor is kind of fun. You get to do a little drawing. We'll try and see if we can get that up into the e-portfolio on Thursday, or hopefully by Friday. But we'll talk to you later. If I get out of here. There we go. Bye-bye.